Do you agree, Dr. Bowden, that it is those who support this fiction and this fantasy that a person can change their sex who are causing the harm that we see in children across this entire state?
With all due respect, sir, it is not fiction or fantasy for my family. It is deeply personal.
You agree, Dr. Bowden, that the members of this body have an obligation to protect children in Tennessee from harm, correct?
Yes, so Representative Bolso, you're my representative. What are you going to do to protect my child?
One more question.
My name is Erica. I'm a resident of Williamson County. I have a PhD in neuroscience from Vanderbilt, and I'm a mom to 3 young kids. They're in my entire world. I would do anything for them. And I also happen to be one of the parents that this bill will label irresponsible, uninformed, and incapable of making decisions for my children, even criminal. So I want to ask you, do you know the medications that are on this bill? Do you know the side effects? Do you know which ones are irreversible? How do these side effects compare to other medications we give children? What are the outcomes for children denied these medications? Can you answer all of these questions in great detail? Because if you can't, then how can you sit there and tell me that you know more than me about the decisions to make for my own child? What are we basing this legislature on? Because it's not facts and it's not experts. It's fear, intolerance, and unwillingness to understand something that's different than yourself. This bill is one of dozens designed to strip transgender people of their rights. Let's call a spade a spade. They're being targeted and attacked. And you are the Civil Justice Committee, and I challenge you to vote like it today.
You use the term in your testimony, fear and intolerance. Is it your position, Dr. Bowden, that those who, based upon genetics and all of human history, believe that there are 2 sexes, male and female, and that no person or set of so-called medical professionals can change a person's sex from one to the other, are afraid and intolerant?
You recognize, ma'am.
I think that's a philosophical question. I respect everyone's backgrounds, opinions, and moral standpoint, but I think that that's an opinion. And I think that the statement that you just made should not be guiding legislature for people who may not believe that. We found that an average of 5 years after their initial social transition, at the end of this period, both youth identified as binary transgender youth, 94%. And there are other studies larger than this that show that the percentage of children who detransition is quite small, and that actually a majority of these kids detransition not because of intrinsic factors, because of external factors such as intolerance from others. So we're talking about a very, very, very small portion of the population that we're making laws to presumably protect, while in the process harming all the rest of these transgender children with no alternative path. I haven't heard anyone suggest what we're going to do for the actual transgender children in Tennessee after this bill is passed. What are we going to do for those children? It is extremely difficult to understand if you are not in the situation. It is hard. I understand it is hard to understand something that is different from your value set, that's different from how you were raised, that's different from your religious beliefs. But for my child, this is very, very real. This is not a fantasy. It's not fiction. It is my child's life that you are affecting.